I'm Artis Wodehouse, and I'm going to try to describe the sounds and the capabilities of my 1887 Mason Hamlin Liszt organ. This instrument is an American reed organ, and the way it works is this. Inside are 300 of these kind of brass reeds, and when I foot pump like this, there's a bellows inside that creates a suction. And when you press one of the keys, the air sucks through the reed and causes this little tongue to vibrate. Now, the whole instrument uses only these kinds of reeds that are of different lengths and of different diameters, of different twists and different thicknesses, and that creates the different sounds you're going to hear, the different tone colors of this instrument. This is a 61-note instrument, and it starts on low C. Now here's your middle C. Now you notice I had to pull these things called stop pulls. Before I describe them and play some music on them, I want to just read them off to you from left to right so you'll know what the lie of the land is. Number 4, English horn dolce. This is the sub bass, 16 foot. Viola dolce, 4 foot. 3, viola, 4 foot. 2, contrabasso, 16 foot. 1, English horn, 8 foot. Here's your octave coupler, right in the middle. Aeolian harp, 2 foot. Vox humana, number 1, melodia, 8 foot. 2, corno, 16 foot. 3, piccolo, 4 foot. Seraphone, 8 foot. Vox celeste, 8 foot. And melodia dolce, 8 foot. In addition, you have this knee lever that causes all the reeds to play at one time with a very grand sound. And this, which opens what you call the swell shades. The reeds are covered by a little wooden flap, and when you open the swell shades up, it gets louder. So it's a way of controlling the dynamics. Obviously, these are the foot pedals. The primary stop on this instrument is number 1, the melodia, 8 foot, and the melodia and the English horn, 8 foot. Now, the reason there are 2 of these number 1 stops is because this instrument has a split point. Middle C and up are controlled by the stop pulls here. B below middle C and to the last note are controlled by the stops here. So if you pull this stop, you're going to get sound for the left hand, but you won't get anything here. Conversely, if you pull this stop here, yeah, you'll get sound here, but you won't get it here. So if you want both hands to play, you have to pull 2 stops, which is what I did. And this is the, as I say, the primary stop, the primary 8 foot stop, the English horn, and the melodia. And this is what it sounds like. A rich foundational stop. Now here's your 4 foot stop, your foundational 4 foot stop. Obviously, the 8 and the 4 together are a really good sound, a really good basic sound. Here's number 2 stop. In the treble it's called corno, and it's a 16 foot stop. And in the bass it's called contrabasso, also obviously a 16 foot stop. Now the reeds for these stops are very special to the Liszt organ. They're situated in an unusual place for reed organs, and that is right in front of my knees, right under the keys, under the keyboard. So the sound's coming out that way too. And these reeds are really beautiful. They are very rich, and they're one of the reasons that Liszt was so desired. Now I'm going to do some stops in the treble. Here's the seraphone, that's the 8-foot stop, and it has a very different sound from anything you've heard before. Now my demonstration is a little cruel because it makes it sound silly, but you'll hear it in a better light in other situations later. But the seraphone can also do a very neat little trick. Because the seraphone is comprised of 2 reeds sounding at once that are tuned together, but they're different shaped reeds, you get that unique sound to this stop. But what happens is when you have low air, not a lot of air coming through, one of the reeds sounds and the other one is hardly present. But as soon as you open the swell shade and put in a little bit more air, you get a little wah-wah effect, which is a very nice effect on this stop that doesn't happen on any of the other stops. Next stop, box celeste, 8-foot. This one is also 2 reeds, but they are detuned reeds. So what you get when you play this stop is you get a vibrato. Box celeste sounds very nice in the upper octave, whereas melodia does not sound as good up there. It gets a little thin, so it's preferable to keep the box celeste in your upper octave and stay away from it in the melodia, generally speaking. The final stop on the treble is number 4 stop called melodia dolce. It's an 8-foot stop. Now melodia dolce is really the same set of reeds that the melodia plays, except in the case of the melodia dolce, there's a mechanical device that mutes the reeds from number 1, the melodia, and so you get a more distant, muffled sound. As opposed to this. It's the same set of reeds, but the muffling cuts out, I think, some of the high partials, so it's a duller, more distant sound.